back to the DS Chronicles, a Demon Slayer podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ronnie.
And I'm Chad.
And we are here today to cover Season 1, Episode 5 of Demon Slayer, My Own Steel.
E-E-L.
Yeah, I had to be careful there. You know how I get tripped up. I almost said my own still. But no, not today. Steel. Everyone, sorry for having a little week off there. If you're part of the Patreon, you know. If you're not, that's fine. But Chad just, is off gallivanting with other people instead of putting the podcast first.
You know, I've got to be there to support my family members, my friends. I've always been known as the guy that is just there for everyone.
But, I mean, with that being said, I'm excited to get back into Demon Slayer. Thank you for your patience. If you were patient and listening in real time, week by week, we think you're cute as well.
Yep. Should
we get right into the episode?
I think so. What did you think in general about the episode?
It wasn't, I'm trying to thinking back on it now, it wasn't game changing, but as I was taking notes, the notes went, I was enjoying myself.
Yeah, I was the same way. You obviously are taking lead in this episode, but I was just there, riding it out.
I think there's just a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and let's do it right now.
Let's go.
So last we left off, Tanjiro sliced the head off a gluttonous Hanzi demon. We come out of the OP with what appears to be a black and white film. You can tell it's a film because it's in black and white.
Yeah.
Some destruction has occurred in the form of a demon slaughter. And it turns out it's a little flashback with old Orokodaki, the Red Rocket himself. Such a long name.
It's a stupidly long name. I call him Sensei a lot, or Red Rocket. And also, I want to see this man. Can we not see him without the mask? Is it just forbidden?
Okay, how about this? It didn't appear that his nose was as long. Was I doing a trick on myself?
No, there's occasional frames where his nose
doesn't look so long.
Yeah, sometimes it looks way longer than other times. I think when he lies, we're gonna see here in a little bit that it gets longer.
Okay, so you think we've got a Pinocchio situation on our hands?
What is that?
Okay. All right, gonna act like you don't know the classic film Pinocchio, and
Spell
it's not
Pinocchio.
a film because we've talked about it before. Pinocchio, of course, is P-I-N. I'm actually not sure if there's a second N. I'm gonna stay with one N. P-I-N-O-C-H-I-O. There's a double letter in there somewhere. I think I missed it. I believe there's two C's. Is there two C's?
Chaz is about to look it up.
Pinocchio.
Is that your final answer?
I'm going P-I-N-O-C-C-H-I-O.
You did it. Congratulations. You won a prize.
Thank you. Everyone, thank you. Once again, I said
that's honestly really impressive. I was going to go two N's, so I'm glad I didn't say it.
Okay. Yeah. I, humble brag, 7th grade, came in 3rd place in the school-wide spelling bee. Okay?
Nice.
Thank you.
Third to first.
My big claim to fame was Colonel. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before.
Use it in a sentence. Which colonel?
My grandfather was a colonel in the military.
Okay.
Go ahead.
C-O-L-O-N-E-L.
Nice. A bunch of 7th graders couldn't get that.
No, when you're in 7th grade, that's a tough one. Mine in 2nd grade was Chimney.
Oh, wow. That was your big claim to fame?
Yeah.
People.
Chimney.
It always feels good when you get 5 or 6 people that can't get it right, and then you just stand there and chimney, though. That's interesting.
And I can't remember. There was another word a little bit later on that wasn't that hard to spell, but I freaked out. Froze up, and I just said the wrong letter. But it's all good.
So definitely, I think we've come down one of two things. It's a Pinocchio situation, or we're going to go into his closet one day, and he's going to have 37 slightly different variations of this same exact mask.
We don't see him eat either, do we?
I mean, how would he? This transitions into Tanji's super slice, and the demon starts to rage due to seeing its body disintegrate in front of his eyes, which that'd be a reason to rage. I would get pretty mad if
especially
I was
after you've already eaten 47 people.
Yeah.
You're almost at 50, that number.
Well, he just walked into it so cocky, and at that point you can't admit defeat. You just have to really make a show of it.
Yeah, you just got to say you weren't on your A game or he cheated,
sore loser. And back to flashback, young boy crying. Well, I thought it was a girl at first. I think it's a boy. Wants to hold hands. Me too. And it's at this point I realized that the young boy we are looking at used to be this disgusting monster before it became horribly disfigured.
Yeah, and that's frightening. Like,
yeah, being a demon will really put a lot of miles on that body.
Now, why did it get so fat?
Because it ate 47 people, I think, as you mentioned.
But isn't there, like, aren't there other demons that have eaten stuff, and it looks like they're still slim shady?
I mean, that's true.
Maybe this one was just, I don't know. Maybe it was actually eating real food, too, so it just combined.
No, I mean, that's a good point, because we have seen a lot of demons feasting, but while they don't even look to be horror, like anywhere starting to be nearly this disfigured.
I think this one was eating real food too, and the calories just kept adding up.
Okay.
With the blood and stuff.
Eating a lot of berries on the mountain.
Yeah, berries, whatever you could find.
That's interesting though. I like that. Tanji then has a vision of all the dead children Urokodaki sent to their deaths. Good news is that they can finally rest now.
Yep.
And this is all fine and well, but young Tanji is still on this scary mountain, and another demon begins a pursuit. Luckily, these other demons, they're nowhere near that first one.
Yeah, that was definitely the king of the mountain.
Yeah, all these other ones, they seem to have one move. It seems to just be like charge. And we see 3 of them, and it seems like Tanji just stands in one place, slices their heads off, and that's game over.
Yeah, these are very low-level ones. It's almost like they don't even have the means to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because they do get the last laugh because they don't tell Tanji what he wants to know. He's asking them questions, and then he just puts it into them before he can get the answers. But I don't think they know anyways. Yeah,
I mean, so that's like asking one of the what's it called in James Bond, one of the like bad guys that just stands guard, like right. Where the main villain is.
It's like just because you do something doesn't mean you know the ultimate. It's like if I'm throwing a football and you say, "Hey Ronnie, how do you throw a 55-yard post pattern when the defense is hitting you in the face?" I'd be like, "Well, Jet, you're just 10 yards away. I'm just playing a little catch. I don't know."
Yeah.
He finally reaches the stunning wisteria flowers along with 3 others for a total of 4.
Now, 4. You said that these were in the eastern part of the United States. I don't believe you. I think maybe many versions of this. But if you want to see something this beautiful, I think you got to fly out or sail to Japan and see it for yourself.
It's false because I've had a lengthy discussion with my grandmother who is
she has these? And you've not
she's very passionate about, and she doesn't have them. She's very passionate about plants. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, we've got those around." Now, this forest is a bit extravagant, and I don't know if I don't even know if Japan, do they have forests like this? We'd have to go check it out. But
no,
are you
Japan
calling my grandmother a liar?
I'm not. I'm just saying, well, I can't believe you just accused Japan of not having trees.
Well, we have trees. So what are you accusing the eastern United States of?
We have forests, but I'm saying you just accused Japan of not having forests.
I did not. I said as extravagant as what I'm seeing right here, because this is beautiful.
Because you always see these photographs and stuff of beautiful temples and like trees in Japan, just like solo trees, but you never see the forests. Like maybe there is these in real life. Let's set sail.
Total of 4 made it. So on a light note, 16 other young men and women have died today. That's all right. Good news is one of them was that cuck that Tanji saved, and then he ran away when the roles were reversed. We didn't like that guy. Turns out he died of death.
And Tanji felt bad. He's like, "Oh, if I was only there for him." But the guy even said, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to leave that guy to fight him and get out of here."
Right. One surviving boy that I have named Cheeto Puff is losing his mind a little bit, and so am I, because these 2 haunted children waltz back onto my television screen.
Yeah, and do we think Cheeto Boy, did he see, like, maybe that cuck get eaten or what?
He's like no. I mean, he might have seen some horrors. He's just kind of the Armin of the group. They're playing it up big time, like but
he made it though.
He made it, good. And I'm interested to see his skill. Is it a case of him underestimating himself, Or is it like he's the classic coward that manages to keep surviving?
Like he might not have even killed a single demon, but he
Right.
somehow lived.
He somehow just like made it to the end, played his time or played the long game, and ended up coming out. So yeah, these haunted children got to kill him. Unfortunately, they don't, and instead they get fitted for clothes and their demon slayer rank, which is Mizunoto, engraved into their hands.
All right, now go through all 10 of the ranks,
Yep.
but do it by order, and you have to look me in the eyes while you do it.
Yeah, I'll do that. So number one, you have come on, help me out here. You want me to start at level 1 or start at 10?
Obviously,
and come down?
10 to 1, yeah.
10 to 1, okay. So interesting. You didn't let me start with the Mizunoto. So number 10 is Excalibur. Number 9 is Excal.
Okay.
Number 8 is, I don't know.
You were close. That was pretty good. That was better than me.
Okay, all right, good. They also get to choose the ore for their swords and are given a Kazugai crow.
Now, these things are so cool.
I said, let's go. They ate crows. I love that.
Yeah. I've literally said this from the day I was born.
No way.
Yeah, I think so.
What have you said?
I've always wanted like a bird that will just, hawk really. My gamer tag back in the day, even when I was in 5th grade, was literally Hawk's Strafe.
But that was like a given thing, right? Because what is even...
No. I like named myself Hawk. I would go through variations of Hawk. Like
Yeah.
I was Hawk. People were like, when I got like sick headshots and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, nice shot, Hawk."
Right.
I'd be like, thanks. But I've always wanted a pet hawk that'll just like fly up, clamp its claws into my shoulder to where I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
But I'm just taking it because I'm like, oh, that's my guy.
It's your companion.
Yeah. And
You
I'll be
wanted
like,
a companion bird.
yes. And I'd just say, scout the area. He'd go scout it, come back, tell me the info, and then I'd go slay whatever I needed to slay.
Right. No, I agree. And that's exactly why I'm so excited about these crows. Cheeto Puff got a sparrow. Which what is... We just skipped over that, but how does that work out? They ran out of crows, and they were like, just give him the next bird you find. It doesn't... It's
Maybe
just not
that's
fair.
our theory. He really didn't kill anything, and they're like, okay, we just got to give him a sparrow, I guess.
One young man has such temper issues, he aggressively grabs the hair of one of the haunted children in a way that should probably get him canceled out of the Demon Slayer program. Yes, gotta kill him, but that was just way too far with the hair pull.
I mean, these are aliens, right? They're either robots, aliens, or...
It's just one of those things. Do you know what I mean when I'm like, okay, you can certainly kill someone, but don't pull their hair like that?
I know what you mean, yeah.
Okay. He wants a sword, not a crow. That's a big mistake. You go crow first.
Yep.
Because a crow will help you in your journey to find the sword. So why would you... It doesn't make... no sword will ever find a crow.
It's a good point.
You ever thought about that? So the time has come. We got a lot of good ores on the table. It's hard to choose. You an ore man?
Yeah, I would probably sniff out... I don't know what happens next, but I would probably sniff out my ore to see what I want.
So Tanji sniffs out an ore to figure out which one he wants. And we cut to a mystery man who I can only imagine is the leader of the Demon Slayers. He has styled his crow in a beautiful purple scarf. I like that touch. Make it your own, right? He says, "Oh, really? 5 of them have survived? The number of my children has increased again." And, okay. What is this charade, Chaz?
Is this guy a demon?
We can talk about that, but what is this charade? First of all, they left it open. You know that's my favorite theory thus far, is that the leader is a demon himself. They didn't show us the face, so it's still alive. But
Okay.
now that we've addressed that, what is this charade?
What, him calling him his children?
No. In my very descriptive notes earlier, did you hear how many people I said made it through the test?
5. Or no,
Nope.
4. Sorry, 4.
I said 4.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
how
he says
many-
5. You're saying, okay, the fact that he says 5 when there was only 4 standing there.
So what I'm saying is,
One of them's invisible.
what is this charade?
One of them's invisible. That's got it. I mean, that's all I can think of. They got an invisible cloak or something.
Okay. Don't like that theory as much. It wasn't that fun, Chesley.
Or is he talking about Nezuko?
I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, put a pin in it.
And how does he even know?
Crow.
Right.
He's got a crow with his purple scarf. Don't say how does he know.
I know, that's what I'm saying though. How does this crow know that though? If there is a fifth.
Okay, so now first you're going to come up with a terrible take like, oh, it's an invisible person. And then second, you're going to question the skills of a crow in a purple scarf.
That is true. It's his personal crow, so it's probably the leader of the crows. So I don't know, man.
There were clearly only 4. I went back and counted. There was obviously Tanji, there was Cheeto Puff, there was
Butterfly Girl,
and Anger Management.
Yep.
So Tanjiro canes it all the way back to Mount Saguri. In no way is he in a hurry to Saguri right now, as he falls onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And this is pretty lame. Like, I ran a mile yesterday. Look at me now. I'm here. Suck it up, Tanji.
Did you really?
Yeah. Did you notice?
No.
Yeah. 11 minutes, 37 seconds. So Nezuko, he gets back. Nezuko has awakened from her slumber. She rushes into a loving embrace, and what a sweet moment. Everyone has been in this position before when your demon sister awakes from like a 4-year coma. Yep. You're so excited to see her.
She's still got the muzzle on.
Yeah. It is nice, though. It is nice. Urokodaki joins the hug. He's definitely poking someone with his red rocket in the process. There's just no way you can't maneuver that thing out of the way.
Facial red rocket.
Yeah. And then Student and Sensei have a fireside chat about demons. Red Rocket's saying they get much tougher than the ones he faced on the mountains. And Tanji says that it seems like Nezuko, who has had a big day, by the way, she hit the hay early this evening. She had to get some rest. She's a different kind of demon. She's what you call a sleepy demon. She regains her strength from sleep rather than human flesh.
You would think it would just be easier if most demons tried this instead of trying to eat everybody.
If you had to choose one or the other, it just seems pretty easy. But also, if you have to sleep as much as she's sleeping, then I'll just eat some phalanges. Like that's
a good point.
It's a little bit extreme.
You don't want to be asleep for 4 years. I would rather eat a few humans a year and just be able to be awake.
She proved that, sometimes there's a sweet spot with sleep. You get too little, you're tired. You sleep too much, you wake up, you're tired. Turns out when you sleep for 4 years in a coma, you wake up, you're still tired. You wake up long enough to greet your brother, and then you go right back to it.
Yeah, because then she's sleeping through the day and the night. You'd think if you're a demon, you've obviously got to hide during the day. That's the time to sleep. Where do these guys go on this mountain during the day?
I don't know. Where do you think?
They got to probably bury themselves.
Yeah. Maybe there's just a bunch of caves.
Yeah.
That's it. But she also, and I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself. I've seen one other episode. She can sometimes look normal and then demon out when she's. But I don't know. That's interesting. I think they've got an underground railroad system. So 15 days later, a life-sized wind chime walks into camp. His name is Hagu Nezuka. He has forged the sword, but also doubles as a delivery man.
Yeah, that's very interesting. No one ever does that. Like, if you forge something that, particular, you're always going to give it to somebody to take. You're going to give it to, the Amazon crow or whatever. Why would you do it yourself,
It's just really good service, I think. It shows how much respect he has for the blade. Yeah. He doesn't want anyone... And also, he's a little erotic to see Tanji unsheath this sword.
Yeah, he is.
So... he turns around, scares the shit out of me with this mask.
Dude, this mask is by far the scariest mask in the show.
I was startled. I was legitimately startled the way that they hid it for so long. I was like, oh, it's just like a nice wind chime person. Also, and this, it just says something about me, I guess. I saw wind chimes. I was expecting a woman.
Were you?
Yeah. Bells, I would have been like, oh, it's a dude.
You know what they say about wind chimes?
What do they say?
Every time they chime, that's the dead of your ancestries saying hello.
Right. I mean, that's pretty dumb.
Well, I didn't come up with it. I'm just saying that's what they say.
And that's fine. I'm just saying them that said that, pretty dumb.
Okay.
It's the wind, you know?
Yeah, but who says the wind isn't your ancestral DNA
God.
blowing their love into the air? You never know.
Maybe so, but if I'm around a hurricane, they're sending me a lot of signals. So yeah,
but if you saw this mask in person,
yeah,
I would that's the definition of, oh, I'm about to get slaughtered, and so is everybody else in this area. Like, that's serial killer vibes instantly.
and Ronnie, as I think I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am not a horror person. You know, October comes around, I get a little nervous that someone's going to invite me to something. One, because I don't like people, and I don't want to go do your activities.
You used to not spend the night at my house because I had a few Goosebumps DVDs.
Dude, you would want to watch those Goosebump DVDs all the time, and they were VHS tapes, which is the way more scarier format.
A film, because it's legit film in the tape.
VHS is way more scary than a DVD. I've always said that. And the Goosebumps boxes, I remember reading 3 pages of a Goosebumps. I've never forgot about it.
I mean, those things, man,
it had something to do with the head.
There was one where there was like a cat that was like running around.
Ugh. Don't talk about a cat's running around. It brings up bad nightmares.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this mask, it's the cheeks, and then the way it's like constantly, it's got like a little blowhole.
Yeah. It's like it's constantly smoking a tobacco pipe from the 1800s.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
So, it turns out Tanji is a child of brightness. That's where his red comes from, or as you called it, his ambrosia brown.
Yep.
His sword might turn red as well, which would be pretty cool. I'm excited for it. But back inside, they pulled the rug out from under you. He unsheathes his color-changing katana. They keep saying that name. It's pretty, right there in front of your face. There's no hiding what it is.
Yeah.
It's a katana that changes colors.
Mm-hmm.
And his turns pitch black.
And it's a cool-looking color, I must say.
It is cool. It's like so simple, but it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, have you ever seen those? I mean, you don't know your way around the kitchen like I do, but there's like these Damascus knives. Have you seen those?
Are they the black ones?
Look up the Damascus knives.
How do I spell that?
Just you do your best.
Chad, look it up.
You did perform pretty well in a 2nd grade spelling bee, and I think I have the terminology right. Probably do. I know my way around the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing them here. Expensive knives.
What kind of price you see? What's the price point?
I'm seeing a set of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is $150.
6 is $150?
Mm-hmm.
I do not think you've got the right knives. 6 for $150 would be one hell of a deal.
Oh, this one's $85 for one.
Really?
Yep.
Turn your laptop around. Let me see.
This is a Damascus steel skinner with a leather pouch.
Oh, see, that makes $85. That's a skinner, dude. It's not a chef's knife.
Oh, you're wanting the chef's knife. Damascus knives, yeah. Chef style.
The chef style, look that up.
I'm on it. Okay, $120 for one of them.
Okay, this isn't going as well as I had thought.
Okay, it says $200, but with a discount to $119.
Oh, so you didn't tell me they were running a special.
See?
Yeah, they're running a special. Why didn't you?
Is that what you have?
Don't give me the clearance price. No, I don't have one of those. You kidding me? $200? I didn't know about now that I know they're on clearance, I'll go take a look. God. So Black, what do you think about Wind Chime Guy? What do you think about old Wind Chimes?
I think he's a little talked.
He says, first of all, I thought he was like a crazy old man.
But he's not.
He's like 30 something.
I don't.
Which made me no, you're not allowed to forge swords like be the master sword forger, unless you're at least over 60.
No, I don't agree with that. What if his dad was the master of it? He's been doing it since he was 5, so he's been doing it for 32 years, and he's took over. His dad just passed away in like a forgery accident, and now he's.
I mean, you did talk me. That's the only way.
That's the only way.
If you got a part-term, if you got an internship at a sword forgery.
Because imagine doing that for 30 years. Like, if you do it for 30 years, you're going to become a master at it.
But like these demon slayers, like the leader of the demon slayers, didn't they say it was like
150 or something?
Yeah, something crazy. And you're telling me that our number one guy is this 37-year-old Windchime guy?
The son of the master, I think.
He's a little bit much for me. We'll see how it goes. It's really the mask, I think. And he's upset about it not being read, but Urokodaki, he's intrigued. He's like, black.
Yeah, and because what was read again? You said it was...
He just, he was a child of brightness.
Child of brightness, yeah.
And he said something about his family do some fire. And I should have gotten that down, because when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's so nondescript. And Tanji didn't really like say anything at all, except for...
Yeah, because he's got the red hair, he's got the red earrings.
Right. Like, it's going to mean...
And then he uses water techniques? What?
Dude, I've got a lot on the water techniques. A little teaser for next episode. I'm getting to the bottom of it. But, yeah, I think we're going to learn more about Tanji's past, and there's going to be some fire elements to it. And it's going to be...
Like fire as in, like this is a fire episode, or you mean like the element fire?
No, I think the element. I mean, he's a child of brightness. So, you do the math.
Okay.
In the best part of the episode, a crow flies down, gives some orders. He must go to a town where young girls are disappearing. Sounds like a place Chaz Chart is inhabiting.
No, does not sound like a place.
No, it sounds like...
Let's talk about the crow's voice here, though.
Yeah.
How stupid does this crow sound?
It's why I said it was the best part of the episode. He talks like a crow would talk.
He does. I mean, I couldn't imagine it any other way besides this.
He opened his mouth and started talking. I'm like, okay, yep. That's what I said in my bed as I was taking notes. He started talking about, that's right.
I love the sound of this crow. I wish he would just literally be like on his shoulder talking to him the whole way there.
But he was taken aback. He's like, oh, you can talk?
Yeah, I remember initially watching this and being like, oh, maybe the crows use like some sort of telepathy to do it. And then he starts moving his mouth. And I'm like, oh, this is great.
Is this... Well, yeah, we already saw one crow when Giyu sent Urokodaki a letter. Mm-hmm. The crow didn't talk. It just brought a letter. So what do you think? You think this is a special crow? Do they just not like to talk? Are they kind of shy? Even though they've got like a very enforcing voice.
Yeah, I think if it's just like a simple order or something like that, they'll say it. But with, what's his name? Giyu, he had that entire letter, and he's probably like, Urokodaki does not want to hear this crow talk for that long.
Okay. Or he's like, there's no way. The crow's great, but it's got a long way to fly. It can't remember all this.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, their brains can't be that big, you know?
And once again, stop shitting on the crows. I think they're going to turn out to be a major point or major success in this show. I think it's all going to revolve around the crows, probably.
And what was the crow? What type of crow is this again?
Oh, yeah, I've got that right here. Let me get it for you. It is a... Now, don't worry. It's right here. I'm going to find it. If you look right here...
Kasugai? Kasugai? How do you pronounce it?
It's something exactly... Yeah. Kasugai crow.
Kasugai crow. Okay.
That's how I would say. Because there's an I at the end. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. We got to go hunt down the demon and kill it.
Girls are going missing. Okay. Then you know what? The moral of the story is there's demons in this world too that steal girls as well. Yeah. Okay.
You got to watch out for them.
You got to watch out for them, and we'll hunt them down. Ronnie and Chad will come after you.
And here's the crazy thing about, note-taking and stuff. I thought this was going to be a long episode. It's going to be our shortest one yet. If you think about it, what happened. We got to the end. We were given an oar. We got a crow. and then we came back, Nezuko awoke, and then we met Windchimes.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You could kind of
too
explain
crazy.
it like that, and I feel like we wouldn't really miss out on anything.
Yeah, definitely the setup for the ending gets really exciting when you hear, oh, he's got to go fight a demon that's already maybe stolen a bunch of women. They're not even women, little girls. This is gonna get good.
Now, as someone who's been to 18 ceremonies the past 3 weeks, are you disappointed that there wasn't a little bit more of like a, hey, you are now a demon slayer? All it was like kind of like walked up to the forest, 4 of them, and then the haunted children were like, all right, here's your equipment. It wasn't like...
I thought that made it kind of cooler. They're basically like,
Get
there
to
wasn't
work.
like a big celebration. It's just like, hey, pick your ore. You're gonna get a badass sword. Okay, you're gonna get a cool uniform. Now go slay some demons.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of just like a get to work attitude, and I can appreciate.
And
that,
since
I
it's kind
suppose.
of a low key, the organization's low key. It's not recognized by the government. There can't be like a huge celebration because then.
Yeah, it just seems like Tanji spent, the timeline got so mixed up, but like 3 years, I feel like is fair to say. At least
something
2.
around there, yeah.
At
2 to
least
3
2.
years.
Working to do this. He finally won, and then he just walked up, and they were like, all right, choose a rock. Here's a crow. We're going to take some measurements of you and go back home and wait for further instructions. He's like, oh, okay.
I feel like the real celebration would be them working their way to the top of the organization.
All right, yeah, working from 10 to 1.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm interested to see like how you do that.
To me, is it just like the crows?
Do you just have to like...
The crows like keep tally of when you do your mission, like what you do, and they go tell them, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, he's working his way up.
Is it missions completed? Is it skill level? Like,
We know the demons. There's low ranking to high ranking. If they get a better, if they kill a better demon, do they go up? Like,
right, as part of a time base. These are the questions we're gonna have to answer. It's the questions that we have, and we'll keep them in the back of our mind as we continue through the series. But for now, we'll catch you next up. I've been Ronnie.
I've been Chazzy.
Peace.
Peace.